Hey, welcome. In a world that can feel pretty challenging sometimes, all it takes is one story, just one powerful sentence to shift everything for us. And today, we're going to dive right into the heart of that power.
Really think about that for a second. Have you ever gotten a piece of advice or read a line in a book or heard something from a friend that just clicked and suddenly you were on a whole new track? That's what we're talking about today. That incredible, almost magical impact of inspiration. So why do we even need this stuff? Is inspiration just a nice little feel-good moment? Well, the truth is, it's actually a fundamental human need. It's what we reach for when logic and spreadsheets just aren't cutting it anymore. Look, we can make all the 5-year plans we want, right? But logic alone doesn't pull you through the mud. We need that spark, that little flicker of hope. And hearing that someone else hit a wall, a real tough spot, and somehow got through it, that's the whisper. That's what gives us the permission to believe we can do it too. And the most powerful source of that hope, it almost always comes from stories. So now we're going to get to the real heart of this thing, the true stories of people who took unbelievable hardship and turned it into strength for the rest of the world. Let's start with a story I'm pretty sure we all know. Just try to picture it. A single mom barely scraping by, scribbling away in a little cafe. J.K. Rowling got rejected and rejected and rejected again for this story she had about a boy wizard. And what's so amazing about this idea is just how simple it is. It wasn't some complex secret to success. It was just pure, stubborn persistence. It's this deep, unshakable belief in yourself, even when the rest of the world is telling you you're wrong. She believed in her story, and that, right there, made all the difference. So really, the big takeaway from her journey is this. It wasn't about how big her dream was. The dream was huge. But what mattered more was the sheer strength of her will to just keep walking through the storm of rejection until she reached the other side. Now, that idea of inner will, well, it gets even more intense when we start talking about actual prisons. Think for a second about what it really means to be free. Nelson Mandela lost 27 years of his life in a prison cell for fighting against apartheid, almost 3 decades. Can you even imagine coming out of an experience like that, not filled with hate, but with a message of forgiveness? See, Mandela knew that if he held on to anger, he'd just be building a new prison for himself, one inside his own soul. He chose reconciliation over revenge. And that's the core of his lesson for all of us. The heaviest chains we carry aren't made of steel. They're made of things like resentment and hate. True freedom isn't about where you are physically. It's an inside job. It's about breaking those mental chains, even when the world is trying to lock you down. Okay, our last story is about a different kind of wall, the walls of what we think is possible. Let's talk about Nick Vujicic. Born with no arms and no legs, he faced challenges that are just unimaginable to most of us. And for a while, he was trapped, asking, why me? But then something shifted. He made this incredible choice to not just break through his limitations, but to become a living, breathing example for everyone else. Wow. Talk about a powerful call to action. He literally stopped waiting for some outside miracle to fix his life, and he decided to be the miracle for other people. He took what the world saw as his greatest weakness and turned it into his greatest strength. And his message, it's just so unbelievably clear. The real barriers, the things that truly hold us back in life, they aren't the physical ones we can see. They're the mental cages we build inside our own heads. His life is a masterclass in completely changing your own reality. So we've seen how entire life stories can change us. But sometimes, that same power can be boiled down into just a few perfect words. The kind of words that light a fire in your gut that can burn for years.
You can just feel the energy in that, can't you? Les Brown isn't talking about being sort of interested in getting better. He's talking about a deep, primal hunger, a non-negotiable, gotta-have-it need to grow and to change. And that hunger to change on the inside leads perfectly to this idea from Jim Rohn. It totally flips the script. It's not about chasing success down. It's about working on yourself, on who you are, until you become a magnet for the success you want. It all starts with you.
Okay, so we're feeling fired up, we're inspired, but now what? How do we actually take this feeling and turn it into real action in our daily lives? All right, here are 4 really simple things you can start doing. First, find people who inspire you, but learn from them. Don't just try to be a carbon copy. Next, give your mind a little boost every single day. One quote can literally change the entire mood of your morning. Third, start writing your own story. You might not realize it, but your journey could be the very thing someone else needs to hear one day. And finally, share it. Pass on what inspires you. Inspiration is one of the few things that multiplies when you give it away.
So let's wrap all of this up and bring it back to you and to the journey you're on right now. You have to remember this. The road is never a straight line. Getting tired, messing up, failing, those aren't signs that you should quit. They're part of the process. In fact, those are the exact moments right before your inner hero is about to wake up. And it awakens the second you decide to take just one more step. This quote from Steve Jobs is such a perfect reminder to just trust the journey. Right now, today, things might feel chaotic or confusing. The detours, the struggles, they might not make any sense, but you have to have faith that someday you're going to look back and see how every single dot connected perfectly. So the message today is actually very simple, but it's also incredibly profound. Just keep going. Trust that your story is still being written. And believe, really believe, that the very next step you're about to take could be the miracle you've been waiting for. And I'll leave you with that question to carry with you. Every single one of these incredible stories we talked about started with one person's decision to take another step. So, what miracle will yours create?